What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome on in each and every one of you vehicles. That's right, this week I'm talking to the cars. I'm talking to the buggies, the trucks, the Beals. I want to talk to each and every one of you. I don't care about the driver. I care about the car. I care about Herbie, the love bug. Right? That's what I'm here to talk about. The Batmobile, other famous cars, Knight Rider. Certainly that's all of them. That must be all of them. Hello everyone, welcome into the show. This is Hunt the Week. It is your weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. I am your host with the most, your Don. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the pride of Mardu. I am a 5-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and one time I had the best league I ever had, and it just kept happening, and I don't really know what to attribute it to, but we'll talk about it a little bit as we go on, and it's time to go on, so let's go ahead and start our engines.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
As I record, and it is 4:39 on Thursday before rollover. We are getting ready for week 4 of Aetherdrift League, but we have to wrap up week 3 in order to do so. So let's begin. This is your top 8. Number 1, Ryan H. Kitchen Sinks, 12-3. Justin P. Code Pigeon, 12-3. John P. Goku or Go Home, 12-3. Jeremy E. Lord Goif, 11-4. Keelan T. Dufel, 11-3. Aaron B. Bevelman, 11-4. Lot P. Lata, 11-4. And Adam S. Wisma. Who's that? Adam S. Wisma, 11-4. Welcome to the top 8, everybody. And then right beneath that, you do have a 4-0. Ooh, we got a 4-0 ready to sneak in to possibly be a 5-0. Oh, wait. They have 3 games left. They could be a 7-0 if everything goes their way. Tyler D. Tooper. Keep an eye on that. Could be our first 7-0. We ever had a 7-0 before? I know we have. I know it's happened. These are our 5-0s. We have 1-5-0, Justin P. Code Pigeon. Fun fact, one of my 3 losses was to Justin P. Code Pigeon in week 1 or week 2. I don't remember, but got me good. That's great. That's our only 5-0. There's a couple 4-0s that could make it up to the 5 number, but nope, it's all a lot of 4-1s, only one 5-0. How did I do? That is the thing, right? That's what we're talking about. How did Goku do? The everyman, as you check in with me throughout every league, that's what I try to represent. Only this league, I'm not representing everyman. I'm representing the people who do well, because I'm having a great league. I'm 12-3. I'm tied for first right now with 2 other people. I've gone 4-1 every week. And I wish I could tell you what the secret is. I wish I could tell you what's happening. I really do. It's a couple things for sure. Good starting pool, strong green rares, right? And green is the best color. So I just get to play a lot of good green cards. I've said before I'm playing Sultai, which is really blue, or which is really green black, and like a handful of blue gold cards. Most notably, Hunt the Network will just win stalled out games, right? Like, I've had plenty of games where I've copied it and gotten lethal. I've used it when they're at like 10 just to drain for 2 or 3, and then you let the Thopters get in and try and finish them off. Find another way to deal a couple extra damage. That's something my deck is good at. It's good at finding ways to push through a little bit of damage. I got the Beetle that drains for 3. I got the Haunt the Network. I got the Draw 2 where we both lose 2. I've got big tramplers, and I've got ways to give them Death Touch. So there's a lot of ways for me to sneak damage in. not totally playing control, not as controlling. I talk about it a lot with my guest this week, but I do feel like a lot of the games are just like get on the board and like get your cards down and start swinging in. I'm definitely playing like a max speed deck. I did lose this week to a really cool cycling deck, which was like 3-color, lots of cycling cards that cared about cards being put in the graveyard or cards that cared about cycling. And then they had the rare that brings back all your vehicles. So they would just cycle all their vehicles to pump their creatures, and then they would swing in for like a big damage attack. And it was a really cool deck to watch happen out. I know I mentioned that I want to see the cycling deck. I'm not going to say this is the cycling deck, but it was a very cool cycling deck. And I got to play against it, and it ravaged me because my graveyard hate is not good. But also just a lot of luck, right? Again, it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of drawing the right card at the right time. I've drawn that Haunt the Network for lethal so many times where like I was about to die, right? Like a lot of these games are going to game 3. A lot of these games are real tight and real close. So I don't know. I'm enjoying the league. I'm doing well. It's hard to not like it when you're doing well, but it's the best I've ever done. I don't think I've ever been 12-3. Normally, when I start strong and I've had my 5-0 starts and my like 8-2s and 9-1s, I normally fall off pretty hard when I have those starts. The leagues that I top 8 are the leagues where I kind of middle at the beginning and pick up steam at the end. So I don't know if this is like a play booster thing where it's like, that's the thing. My deck's good. All right. My deck's good and I don't really want to change it. I don't really care about adding packs to it. And this is going to make me sound shitty. I have been winning so much, I forgot speed boosts were a mechanic. I was talking to my good buddy Chris R. He's like, yeah, man, just did my last speed boost, got mom. And I was like, oh, shit, that's right. I get extra cards. But it's like, I don't even want these extra packs, you know? Like, I think the decks that start strong care a lot less about the speed boost. That's why originally I was going to go Ikoria because that was on green. And everyone said, well, if you're on green, yeah, you open Ikoria. And then I've been winning, so it's like I haven't really needed or cared about adding cards to the deck. So it's like, well, I guess I'm just saving up for mom just because I just don't need extra cards right now, you know? And it's a weird thing to say and a weird thing to think about because normally it's like, yeah, get all your cards as fast as you can and come back. But, you know, I don't know. I'm 12-3. If I get to 20 wins before 7 other people, I get to top 8, which I haven't done since Kanzaturk here. This could be a Goku League. 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. Definitely due for some losses, right? Definitely due for some luck to change. But man, a good start, which will allow me to kind of have maybe a bad week or two and still possibly be able to pull this out. Again, it's only week 3. We got 3 more weeks of this, and it is now. You get to listen to me live on air in our next segment, realize that OMW doesn't really matter in this league because my OMW is actually really bad. And then as I'm talking to our guest, I go, oh, I realize it's not about OMW. Like the tiebreaker, here's the thing. Watch me lose out on tiebreakers because of my OMW. Just watch. It's going to happen now. But I was like worrying about it less than I normally do. And also I lost to Justin P. Codepigeon, who's currently number 2. So that's helping me out. But let's go ahead, let's get to our next segment, and let's enter the winner's circle.
Dude, I almost had you. You never had me. Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
That's right. This week I got to bring on our first place driver this week, up into the Hunt the Week. Got to talk to him about Magic, got to talk all about them, got to figure out what's working out. It's their first league. Ryan H. Kitchen Sinks comes on the podcast, also 12-3, and they're new here, right? Like they're kind of warming up. They're seeing how it's going, and they're kind of letting their name be known because they're doing so well, right? They're doing what they do, and they're doing it the only way they know how, and that's by winning, winning, and winning. We talk all about it. What's helping them win? What kind of cards do they like? How long they've been playing Magic? Do they like to experiment with some weird food things, right? Do they like it? Well, we get into all of that and more. Listen to my interview with Ryan now. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Winner's Circle this week, where we are talking to number 1, currently in first place, Ryan H, a.k.a. Kitchen Sinks. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hey, happy to have you. I gotta ask you right off the bat, real quick. Kitchen sinks, not kitchen finks.
Right. Yeah, no, when I registered for Arena back when it first came out, Kitchen Finks was taken
Oh,
like on release.
oh,
So
sure. I'm sure. Yeah. Any of those
so
like important
so I'm
cards.
not super creative, yeah.
Well, that's
So
good because I the first time I read it, I swear I said kitchen finks in my head, and then later as I saw kitchen sinks, I was like, that's got to be a kitchen finks reference, right? Like,
yeah,
it's got to be. Uh,
nothing more than that.
well, it's a great card. Why wouldn't you want to be a kitchen? Does kitchen finks hold up? Is it has
It
it
depends on where
finally
you
been
play it.
crept out?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it has its place. Some like infinite life loops, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Not a lot of things do what it does.
It doesn't. I don't know if it's great in limited, like in any cube. Maybe it has its place somewhere. Someone could design a cube around it.
Oh yeah, Kitchen Finks Cube. Someone design and post Kitchen Finks Cube, please. Make this
Please.
podcast amazing. And I don't know if that means there's 50 copies of Kitchen Finks in there or there's only one. And if you're not the guy who drafts it, you're having a bad time. But
Or
I want.
just all the cards have life gain and or persist.
Oh yeah, it's you know what? Richard has the Cloud Blazer scale where he rates every card based on how close it is to Cloud Blazer. So like
Mm,
1 point is does it fly, 1 point is does it draw cards, 1 point is it a 2/2? It's just like all five things. So
gotcha.
you could do that with Kitchen Finks, where it's like, does it gain life? Is it a 3/2? Does it have persist? Does it cost three or like hybrid mana involved in there somehow? I don't know. Uh,
Right. Yeah.
but yeah.
Lots of angles.
Yeah, we can do it, Ryan. We can make it happen. But
I
I
just
want
don't
to
know if I'd want to expend that much mental energy.
no, that's why you just have a podcast and you say somebody do this.
Throw it out to the universe.
Yeah, and then
Gotcha.
you let some guy in the and there's somebody in the Discord that just loves to build cubes, right? That's their thing, and the person has to exist. And they have to
Right.
also listen to the show, and then maybe we'll get a Kitchen Finks cube. Maybe.
Maybe. It's a
I'm
dream.
looking at you, Spaghetti Mitch. Johnny, I know you like a cube. Evan, you like the cube. Somebody, Zach Carr, help me out. Um, we're way off topic, Ryan. We need to get to our first question, which is, when did you start playing Magic?
Yeah. So when I was, I think like 9 or 10 years old, I really wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh with people,
Interesting.
and we had a local game store, just a small game store, and nobody wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but everyone was playing Magic. So I bought like a really crummy Ravnica like Demir deck, and I think it was just someone's like draft chaff that they jammed together into a 60 card pile, and got just absolutely stomped by all the older kids that went to the to the LGS. But yeah, I really liked the aesthetic and the gameplay, and so I stuck with it. And yeah, I've just been playing since then. I don't know. I've kind of maybe fallen out and back in a little bit, but it's always been a part of my life, whether that's playing Commander with the boys,
Mhm.
or getting like super into like limited grinder life. But yeah, no, Magic's been a big part of my life for a long time.
Well, like I gotta ask because you brought it up. Who's your commander? Who's your go-to?
Um, it's been different over the years. I really liked it was like the original Glissa that would like, oh man, I can't even remember what she did. She'd like reanimate artifacts. And so I tuned that for a long time. Nowadays I don't play a ton of Commander, but I had this I remember I was at my LGS, we had a huge pod of people playing Commander, and I think it was like 6 or 7 people at this big table, and I had a fully tuned CEDH Derevi Stacks deck, and I held the table hostage with like stasis and just like tapping all their stuff down for like,
No,
yeah, and it was
no.
not a quick game. It was like,
Also not a fun game, right? Like you're the only one
no.
having fun in that game.
Oh yeah, but I extracted maximum fun out of that game, so it's okay.
You
But
ruined six people's night that day. Holy cow.
yeah, it was super fun. But I ended up dismantling that, and then so when I the next time I played a little bit of CEDH, it was like a turbo crick list. So, um, I mean, it definitely like folded to any kind of disruption or pressure, but you could get some like super fast wins out of it. That
Interesting.
was fun. So I guess I kind of like more like combo oriented. Well, I like stacks too. So maybe I'd try out like
Stacks.
Winota, or yeah, or oh, I always wanted to try like Bremen. No, not Brago. Yeah, Brago King Eternal.
Oh yeah,
So
and stacks. That's ooh
yeah.
yeah. And you think
But
I feel like you don't meet a lot of people who play stacks. I love it, Ryan.
I
I
really
feel like
like that. Like Magic is super. I really like older, like vintage cube, just because of like even the unfun play patterns. It's like it's really unique gameplay.
oh yeah.
Like there's some really cool stuff you could do, and not all of that is like fun for the opponent or fun for you, but
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you,
I've been
you
blood
can do
mooned.
it.
I've been blood
Mhm.
mooned plenty of times. Uh well, wow, Brian. I feel like I've learned so much about you already. So you said you started when you were 10. What, do you remember what set that was?
Yeah, I think Ravnica had just released.
Okay. And have you been playing or did you take, a lot of people take a break. Have you been playing pretty continuously up through there?
Um, so I would say I've played pretty continuously. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, at least it's always been at least like a small part of my life. And then there are the times that I go kind of crazy and I'll collect like a whole set on arena or play in some like kind of higher stake events. But yeah, no, it's always been at least like a weekend hobby.
Well, I love it. And you know what? You can tell from the record, what, 12-3 right now? You started, what was it, 8-0, 9-0, something like that?
Yeah, I started out pretty strong. Yeah.
Adam was gloating that you had 100% match win
Oh,
rate for a
mhm.
while, which phenomenal stat, by the way. Um, you got a great start, and here you are in Aetherdrift. We're in week 3. What do you think of the design of this league? What do you think of, the checkpoints, the speed boosts? Yeah, I know you say you like to grind limited. Is this for you like, oh, it's a fun twist on Aetherdrift? I like the changes, or is this, hey man, let me play Aetherdrift. I don't like this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really like a purist. Like I don't feel like um it needs to be just Aetherdrift. I like the bonus sheet stuff and the comeback packs. I think that's really cool. I haven't played a lot of sealed leagues, so I don't know if it always feels like it's kind of like a race. Like I think there's just naturally like built into like a sealed league. There's comeback packs.
Hmm.
You lose, you get to add stuff, and so it already kind of feels like a race because you're trying to like I don't know, you're trying to like come back once you've lost the lead a little bit, and I think that's cool. It just kind of naturally is like a flavor win.
Yeah, the flavor here is it's through the roof, and it just kind of seems to happen. Um,
Yeah.
you're at 12-3. Have you boosted? Have you boosted yet, Ryan?
No, I thought maybe if I was gonna, I like March of the Machine. It's like one of my favorite limited sets of all time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um, and like there's like pretty good gen stuff in March of the Machine and good fixing. So I
Mhm.
thought maybe I'd just boost it for.
I like it. I like it. Originally, I was on the Ikoria train, and then I've been doing well. And I was like, well, my deck doesn't need the juice. I can just kind of wait. And
Yeah, yeah.
so that's kind of the strategy or my approach. Originally, I was on. It's funny to think though that me and you, we're both 12-3. We both could have used all 3 of our speed boosts by now, but we chose not to do Kaladesh. Um, and I think we
Yeah,
both chose Mom. Isn't that interesting?
yeah, that is interesting. I think with like the Kaladesh remastered, like it definitely would have helped with like filling out the curve. I'm
Hmm.
sure you would have been able to pick up a lot of stuff that would help with the consistency and the game plan. But I mean, when it comes to pure power, like I could definitely see just I think waiting is kind of the better strategy if you're looking for, you know, if you're opening the just if you're looking to open more juice.
Yeah, and if you're gonna find, I mean, you can find juice anywhere, right? Like I like to say, like any pack can be broken, any set can have a strong pack,
Mhm.
but Also, like mom is just inherently juiced. You got like the bonus sheet, you still get all the companions, yeah, and it's just like, oh, every time I see a like even like a decent mom pack open, I'm like, yep, yep, Diddley Derision, yeah, okay, that's good. Urion, sure, that's fun. Like, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But you're 12-3. What is helping you do so well? It's your first league, your first time here, and you're kind
Yeah.
of, rookie of. There is a rookie of the league trophy that goes out at the end to the new player who does the best. This is our biggest league.
It's
What's
fun.
helping you do it?
So I think it's a couple of things. Um, but the biggest thing, I think, after having played just like a disgustingly large number of sealed pools between the Arena Open last weekend, and then I think there was yeah, there was. Oh, okay. No, I don't think there hasn't been an Arena Direct yet, but the Arena Open, having to play in so many times to try to get to day two, it's really hard to build blue decks. I think, and so I opened Jund. I opened a lot of really good just Jund cards, and you play efficient beaters and have good interaction, and that helps a lot. So I don't think I had to work very hard to make my pool play my pool well. I just got to play like good efficient creatures and play my bombs and be able to kill their stuff. So that's what I attribute my success to, outside of just trying to just keep solid game, just play solidly.
Yeah, try not to minimalize the mistakes, right? Minimalize the things you can control.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and like that's I always say it's a marathon, not a sprint. I understand they're both races. It's still a race either way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, yeah, you need to, everything's about min-maxing. You want to minimize all the mistakes, all the problems, and that way, because you're gonna have those games you lose due to mulligans or bad hands or color screw or whatever. Uh,
Sure.
like, you can't stop that. But the things you can control, I'm with you, Ryan. You need to learn to never make that mistake, because you don't want to look back at the end and go, yeah, in week two I should have won that game and I didn't, and that game actually was the reason I didn't, make top eight or whatever. Like,
Yeah. I was playing day two, and drafted a really cool Boros. Uh, it was like that. Oh my gosh, what is that card called? It's the Push the Limit. I think the
oh
7 mana red card
yeah, I
that
lost that card
reanimates all your
today.
vehicles.
Yeah, that card's
Yeah, I had
gross.
a really sweet push limit deck. It had four of those 1 mana sharks
Oh my
that
God.
that get buffed for cycling.
Oh my
And
God.
so it was a great pool, but I probably didn't play as tight in the one game I lost. Like we had a best of three series. I won one, he won one, and then game three, I just got stuck on 2 lands,
Hmm.
and yeah, could not draw lands, and I was running the full 17 with like most of my deck was cyclers.
Yeah.
So I just kept a 2 lander, and it just didn't, things just didn't go my way game three. But maybe if I had minimized mistakes in game two and had just played as tight as possible, maybe I would have cashed out, because I was 1-0. Well, I was in single elim because I had lost a game in that first draft, and then
Mm.
and so then I was 1-0 going into that second game, and just didn't quite cash out, which is
Oh.
unfortunate. But
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. But hey, at least you win your gems back, right? I think you even get up
yeah, yeah,
gems.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I spent more gems than I should have trying to get to day two. So I didn't quite break even, but it was close, because yeah, now I'm sitting on like 20K gems.
Yeah, and then next time it rolls around, you'll be ready,
Yeah,
right?
I'm excited for Duskborn Draft Arena Direct
I saw
this
that
weekend.
double boxes. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a fun
Yeah,
matchup.
yeah. I don't know if the play boosters have very good like EV, but
Yeah.
people like to buy sealed product just to crack packs. And so I don't have like too hard of a time flipping those. And just like being able to play draft for stakes is really cool. I'm sorry
Yeah.
if I'm promoting gambling on your podcast.
No, hey, I mean, I think we all agree that those are the real fun times. Like I won the festival in the box when they had that
Oh, that
a
was
few
so
months
cool.
back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Uh-huh.
know, like I love that I can play Magic and win something. That's
Yeah.
not like just, digital packs or digital
Hmm.
currency.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it is. I've never cashed. I've day two'd a couple times in the opens, but I've never cashed. I've gotten about as close as you. I got like to the second draft and then lost. Um, which yeah, doesn't feel great. But again, that just means you're so close, right? Like if you can get that
Yeah.
far, you can win a couple more games, you
Oh,
know?
definitely. Yeah, for sure.
Um, and Dustmorn, that's a fun draft format. So it's like,
Yeah,
you play that just for fun, and you can win some boxes on top of it. Good time.
exactly. Yep.
Well, Ryan, I always learn a lot about what kind of player you are from this next question, and that is, what is your favorite Magic card?
Um, Card I can play on Arena. I would well, I mean, I could say my favorite card first. I guess it's I would say it's Ancestral Recall.
No,
I
beautiful.
just really like drawing cards.
Hmm.
Um,
It doesn't
close
get
second.
better.
Close second would probably be like Fast Man. I really like when they added Gleemox to the Power Maxed Vintage Cube on
Hmm.
MTGO. Just because like 5 color fixing on a Mox is crazy. It's so nice. I really love playing like 5 color decks. So oh, and we'll get to that later. There was a question about comfort cards, but but yeah, we'll talk about that later. But cards I can play on Arena. My favorite card is probably Oracle of the Alpha because
Because
then
you
I get to
can
play my
play,
favorite
yeah,
card.
because then you can
Yeah.
draw through cards.
Yeah, I get to play my favorite card. Yep.
That is a card that I will never pass in the cubes. Like Oracle,
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
can't pass that thing.
Yeah, and then sometimes you draw like land and then a mox, and then you're like, why am I playing this stupid bird in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
deck? But
It's like you wheel, then you're like, I drew three moxes and a lotus. Great. Like,
yeah, yeah, it
uh,
doesn't always work out, but it's a super fun card.
it is. And again, you get to draw some cards, you get to play with some really cool magic, and it's like it's the only way to really play with Power Nine on Arena. So
Mhm.
it's cool and it's really fun.
Yeah,
All right, Ryan, we are at our questions from the league. Are you ready for your
ready?
questions? All right, our first question. Ryan, will you play me, John P, in a stream match for first place right now?
I don't know. Would that disrupt your podcast situation?
Well, here's the problem, Ryan. We're both done for the week, so we would both get
Oh,
disqualified
we
if we
just be.
did.
Oh, really? Wait,
Yeah.
we can play a friendly match,
We could
right?
play a friendly match, stream match. No, because he says stream match for first place, like we were playing for stakes.
Uh,
I could play a friendly match. That's no problem. Um,
well, maybe
uh,
next week.
maybe. Let's see if our
Be
schedule.
down.
Let's kick that can. Yeah, I like this idea.
Okay.
Let's see if our
Yeah,
schedule. Here's the thing.
I'll hit you up.
So I want to say my OMW needs it, but I don't need good OMW. In fact,
Oh,
Ryan, let me deposit this to you. It's actually bad for both of us if we play each other. How
oh,
about
is it?
that?
Oh, because it could mess up both our records.
Well, all right. The thing is, it doesn't help. Our game win match percentage doesn't matter. Like that. What matters is getting to 20 wins in the fewest amount of losses. So like it doesn't help our tiebreakers, which is why I would do it because I have bad tiebreakers. Um,
Oh, gotcha.
but if it doesn't help, no, I'm just playing a guy who knows how to play Magic and is doing really well. Um,
Gotcha.
in fact, my one of my three losses is to Code Pigeon, who is currently in second place right now. Uh, I'll tell you what, we'll see what happens next week. We'll see what lines up schedule wise. And if it happens, it happens. Maybe I just catch you in the bot one day,
Right.
I catch you sleeping. I catch you on a real tired day, where you're keeping bad hands. Maybe that day comes around.
I think you could manage to take me down. I've lost to like I mean I don't know who I've lost to, but I I don't always have amazing games.
I mean, that's the thing. I feel like this league, and I am enjoying the league. I'm doing well, so it's hard not to not enjoy it, right? But I do feel
Right.
like everybody's playing green. Everybody's playing green. And you either have like a really good game or somebody just rolls somebody over.
Yeah.
Like it's either like two drop, three drop, four drop, you're dead, or it's like, oh, I killed your thing, you killed my thing. We're having a nice back and forth. We're having like good magic. We're having a good
Hmm.
game. Or it's, you're stuck on all black mana and you're not hitting that red land you need for all the red cards in your hand. And like, man, I've seen a lot of those games too. Um,
For sure.
Because I do feel like we are. I feel like we're playing three colors. Like I feel like most people are on three colors, at least that I'm seeing
Yeah,
still.
I don't see a lot of like incentives to branch out and get really, like splashy. Just
Hmm.
because I think average card quality is just really high
It
in
is.
this set, and there's a lot of like card advantage at like common and uncommon.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't exactly know what you would be splashing for, especially once you get a couple extra like comeback packs in your pool. But I mean, it obviously depends. Like if I got a loot, I'd probably just splash blue, especially with like the tap lands I have.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
splash loot.
and there's some white cards I might. Geez, I don't know. I don't know if I
That's
don't
the
think
thing.
I would
Then
splash
you
for.
got to play white cards. That's the problem.
That is the problem. Yeah.
Like I feel like white has such an atrocious win rate this set that like anytime I see somebody like playing planes, I'm like, all right, this is great. This is a great matchup.
I
Like I
really
don't even.
think it's like the only color where just a lot of the cards, especially at lower rarities, are just like they're actually not playing well, not playable in the context of the set. Like they're actually like dud cards
Yeah.
in white, and like the other colors, I don't know if they have like hardly any dud cards.
Yeah, I don't know what it is that makes white. You would think it's an artifact set. White blows up artifacts real good. But I don't know. White's just not hanging. Even though like it's white's got the board wipe that hits artifacts. And even that's like I don't know. Is it too slow or does the artifact already do the thing when it ETBs so it doesn't matter if it dies?
Sure.
Uh
I think a lot of the creatures don't line up super well into like there are all these like high toughness, maybe lower power creatures,
hmm.
and then like all of White's cards are like they just don't have enough toughness to like attack profitably. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and white is kind of like the saddle deck, and I don't think saddling like I see way more vehicle things than I do saddle things. I don't
That's
see
a good point. Yeah, just like just the built-in mechanic to that whole color just isn't supported very well. That makes a lot of
no,
sense.
it's like doesn't play good for some reason. Look, we're cracking the code here for you on Hunt the Week, and under our next question from Damien S. But Crack Magic, how easy do you think the competition is on the server? How many misplays do you see on average? How many deck building errors do you see? If you were rate us as players on a scale from 1 to 10, where would we be?
Yeah, I was reading this one and I don't know if I'm going to be able to rate the community on a scale of 1 to 10, even if I break it down into a bunch of like like categories. Really, my sample size isn't very high. I don't think like 15 games is even really like that much when you think about how many people are in the
Yeah,
league.
140 people.
Yeah, but I mean, generally, the biggest like deck building mistake I've noticed is just like people aren't prepared for curve outs a lot of the time. Like
Hmm.
people like they'll win the late game because they have like this oh man, I've already forgotten that card's name. Aether Siphon, I think, right? The
Oh yeah.
artifact that draws cards. And so they have these like card draw engines and like big value, but they don't have like the defensive tools to
Hmm.
like make the game go late. And so I've seen a lot of that where the board is just like clear. And so if I play like a 2 drop, it's kind of GG.
Yeah, I've noticed those games where you go 2 drop, 3 drop, and they're like they're land or they're cycling or like they play an artifact that like doesn't really do anything. You're like, all right, I'm gonna hit you for 6 next turn.
So I think you can play the really greedy deck. You just have to like be prepared to deal with a curve out. And so that's important. And then as far as like gameplay mistakes, I think it's the nature of arena to like have misclicks sometimes.
Hmm.
Like I'm definitely guilty of that. And but as far as like strategic mistakes, I don't think there are a lot of times where I've stared at my computer screen and just started like yelling at it, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Mostly it's just like, oh, he must accidentally, like confirmed an all attack or,
Yeah.
something like that, which is like, it happens. But yeah, or like misread the card. Like that happens sometimes. That like I had an opponent message me and he's like, oh, I thought that had 3 toughness, and so, that happens. But I don't think we're getting really sweaty with it. Like I kind of play a little loose, you know. I don't think everybody's like 100% locked down during league play, but I could be. I mean, maybe some people are. I don't know.
Hey, maybe they are. They probably do pretty good. But yeah, it's hard to be at 100% of the time. We're having
Right,
fun,
right.
right? Like we're here
Sometimes you
to have
just,
fun.
yeah. Sometimes you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed and you take risky mulligans and you don't read the cards.
You gotta read the cards. Our next question comes from Zach H. Hack Zolt. How did you find the server, and how has the experience been compared to expectations coming in?
So I think I found the server. It was on some Reddit community. I think it was either the Arena subreddit or the LR Cast subreddit. I followed
Nice.
both of those. I think I followed a couple of others too, but yeah, it had just been like advertised, um, and so I thought it sounded like fun. And I was thinking about, I was gonna kind of hit the set hard, so I thought, yeah, I'll add some Aetherdrift League to whatever else I'm doing with Aetherdrift, just because I was getting back into limited. Um, and then the other part of that question is, how has the experience been compared to my expectations? Honestly, it's a lot more like organized and like it runs super well. Like everything, like all the automation, like the looking for matches and like the pack generation, it's been really like noob friendly. Like I haven't had a hard time understanding like anything. Like there were question marks when I started, but then like they do a great job of kind of just like uh kind of holding your hand, like giving you the information that you need to for things to work, like for you to be successful. So yeah, no complaints. Like it's been all positives. So.
Hey, we're happy to have you, and here you are, crushing getting your Aether Drift in. Again, what a great start you're having. Our next question is from Evan C. Piece of Crab. Are you a weeb?
Yeah, I'm a weeb. I think there's
Hesitant.
I'm learning. I think I've learned that there's maybe a little bit of a difference. There's like a nuance between like weeb and weeaboo.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
I don't think like I don't think Japanese culture is superior or anything, but I do enjoy like Japanese media, like
Sure, yeah.
movies or light novels, manga, anime, yeah, Japanese music. I think the language is really pretty,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
so like I don't think it's like the be all end all of everything, but yeah, I definitely have an appreciation for a lot of I don't know. Every time someone asks me, like, because I'll talk about an anime I've been watching, and they'll say, "Oh, anime doesn't seem like it's for me." I think there's really something for everyone, and I
Yeah.
think the thing with anime is there's so many different genres. It's like like animated Japanese stuff is it's not just like children's cartoons. There's a lot of different stuff. There's definitely something for everyone if people are like receptive to that, but at the same time, like I don't like pressure people to go and seek it out. Like people have their own interests, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sure, I'm a weeb.
I love it. Our next question is from Chris Y. York on Games. What are you most famous or infamous for outside of the game?
Yeah, I try to keep things pretty low key. But I don't know, have you heard of the Zodiac Killer?
Yeah, buddy.
No,
Maybe that
no.
was too excited. Maybe I was way too excited there. Yes, I have heard of the
Yeah,
Zodiac
that's me.
Killer.
That's me.
It's
No,
not you.
no, I'm not the Zodiac Killer. I'm not like famous or infamous for anything. I try to get my family on like to try different foods. So I guess I'm infamous for feeding feeding my family stuff they don't want to eat,
Oh, I like that though. That's a fun quality.
which is not, I don't feed them anything like crazy, but even something like like chicken curry is way exotic to them. So, but I mean, if I'm cooking, they get to, you know, they get to eat what I make. So.
Nice. I love it. We got a lot of cooks over on the super secret side servers sharing recipes. If you ever want to come check it out, there's a super secret side server where we talk magic and other things.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, that sounds cool.
our next question is from Ryan M. Rern. How warm and fuzzy do you feel after catching kitchen finks? Follow up. What's your favorite card from a recent limited set that gives you the same safe feeling?
Yeah, so I do feel very fuzzy. Well, used to. I don't cast a lot of kitchen things nowadays, but it used to give me very warm, fuzzy feelings. And I think I get a similar. It's kind of like you feel safe, you know?
Yeah.
You just feel happy. You're looking at the card. And I think I get that same feeling from like all the Honey Mammoth variants in these limited sets. Like
Oh yeah.
Migrating Ketradon, if you feel like you're not doing too hot, maybe they have a flyer swinging in at you that you don't have an answer for. Your life total's getting a little low. You just play the Ketradon, gain 4 life, and then you have a blocker, and it's so cozy. But on another level, the card that gives me warm fuzzies nowadays is like mana fixing.
Sure.
So if I cast a prophetic prism, especially if I cast a prophetic prism on turn 2, like
Sure.
I get those same warm fuzzies for
I
sure.
like it. You either want to like stabilize or you want to be drawing cards. I really like it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that thing had reach until today. That 6/6. I was like, oh, it's 6/6 gains for life. This thing's great. I had a 1/3 flyer. I almost attacked right into that thing. Would have been a huge
Oh,
mistake.
it's so funny because your brain starts to just ignore that giant white
Yeah.
bow that they stick on it. I think I was better at not attacking into reach creatures before they added that visual effect.
Yeah.
Because yeah, my brain just like filters it out for some reason.
I feel the same way. I don't even notice it anymore. I'm just like, wait, it's a honey mammoth. It gains for life. Honey mammoth doesn't have reach.
There's a
Ah,
lot of visual noise on Arena, like on the Aetherdrift
especially on the
board.
Aetherdrift board. Yeah.
Yeah, with like the propellers and yeah, there's just a lot going on at any given moment. And so I don't think you should feel ashamed for accidentally swinging your 1/3 into a reach creature.
Thank you, Ryan. You've made me feel better about myself. Our last question comes from Richard K. Preacher. Richard won our last league, was Player of the Year a couple of years ago. Richard loves asking questions about food. He would love to know, what is your favorite pasta and sauce?
Oh, yeah. I do love pasta. Hard to pick, just one combo, but I grew up with some marinara, meat sauce, spaghetti. Love that stuff. Um, I like rotini with a cheese sauce, like a mac and cheese sort of deal.
I like it.
Um, and then I really like just like olive oil, cracked pepper, maybe a little cheese and some just whatever pasta you want to throw in there, So
I
pasta's
like it.
great.
You're not picky.
No, I'm not picky.
Hey, I give this guy some more food questions next time. He's adventurous food. What's the weirdest food you've given your family?
The weirdest one. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute.
All right, well, I don't want to put you on the spot too much. I just feel like we brought up the weird food, and if we're not going to touch on it too much after, Richard's going to kill me. He's going to want to know the weird food stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm not great at remembering at this moment. I'm
That's
trying
it.
to think of what they didn't eat like half of, just like threw half away. But honestly, like the most like recently, they were not like a huge fan of the chicken curry I made.
What?
Unfortunately, yeah, the sweet and savory, like I don't know, man, it wasn't for them.
Hey, it's not for everybody, right? Yeah, just like Magic, just like Yu-Gi-Oh, just like Pokemon, just like whatever. It's not for ever. It could be Taylor Swift. It could be the Kansas City Chiefs, right? It's not for everybody. Well, Ryan, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, making time and letting us learn a little bit about you. Congratulations on your great start, man. Really, it's not easy to do. This is a real stiff competition in here, and you're doing great. I hope you continue to do well the rest of the way. And I hope to avoid playing you, even if we try and schedule it, because you seem to be doing very well. So congrats, man, and good luck out there.
Yeah, you too. Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one. Ryan was awesome. I never know what I'm getting into sometimes, and Ryan's one of those people that didn't know much about them, just know that they're doing well, and wanted to bring them on. And you know what? They were super great to talk to, really accommodating. It's been hard for me to get the last couple interviews scheduled. Scheduling's been kind of tough right now with me moving and just kind of the hours that I'm around throughout the day. But we've been able to make it happen. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Ryan. And what a cool guy. Guy knows his magic. He's out here beating all of us up. 12-3. Still a long way to go, but what a great start for his first league. Pretty much guaranteed to get his money back at this point, right? Even if he loses every game from here on out, he's going to finish above 11-11. So keep going. Try to get that Rookie of the Year. Try to get that first top 16, top 8, right? Like, this is how it happens. If you can start strong and kind of keep it going for a long, long time, you could do it. And you know what? Pennant winner gets an Aetherspark. So try to get that free copy of Aetherspark. And again, thank you so much to Ryan H. Such a great guest to have on the show, and what a cool new member of our community. Thank you for joining us and for being a part of it. Thank you for joining the show. That's going to do it for Hunt the Week this week. We got to wrap it up as Aetherdrift Week 3 wraps up and we get ready for Week 4. They're starting to talk about Dragonstorm Khans of Tarkir. Get your eyes peeled. Open up your ears. Get on the server. Get involved. Get in the side quests. Sign up for Evans Miranda's Mega Draft Madness. The comeback Week 3 coming up. I think John D. Daily Drafts got some drafts that he's been working on coming up. A lot of cool stuff going on in the server. Get involved. If you don't like what's going on, do your own side event. Do your own things. Get ready for Dragons of Tarkir. Do those Aetherdrift drafts. Maybe you want to win a box of Duskmorn. Whatever's going on next. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're liking the magic that's out there. And I can't wait to see you in the server. Until then, I hope you get to keep a good 7. That's really what matters in this format. Like I said, you want to play stuff on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. You want to kind of care about the rectangles, as they say, right? Like, I'm not saying you got to be fast, but you got to have board presence. I think that's something that Ryan brought up. It's like sometimes people just can't kill the thing you play, and it's just that's the game. Like that's just it. You go 2-drop, 3-drop, they go, oh, I got a bunch of 4 and 5 drops in my hand. And then it's just too little too late, right? Like, you got to have some board presence. And you got to hope that shuffler is in your favor. Because if you're drawing 2, you don't want them to be land, right? Like, there's so many times I'm drawing cards like, just don't be lands. Just don't be lands. Please. Please, give me some action. Give me something. Until then, we'll see you here next week. Bye, everybody. And I guess this is going home.